So in my opinion, couscous is one of the greatest ingredients available to us. It's very healthy for you and super affordable. Now, if you've never heard of couscous before or have never even tried it, it's basically little pebbles that look like a grain, but it's not a grain at all. It's actually a type of pasta that's made from durum wheat. And let me tell you, just like pasta, couscous is a blank canvas where you can create an extraordinary dish. Anyways, today, that is exactly what we're doing. We're making couscous with Spanish spinach and chickpeas. This dish has an explosion of so many flavors. It's very easy to make and it comes together in under 30 minutes, folks. This is what great food is all about and truly a dish that's gonna get you hooked on couscous. Let's begin by grabbing a large fry pan, heating it with a medium heat, and adding in 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 30 milliliters. While the olive oil is heating, I'm gonna finely dice half of an onion and roughly chop 3 cloves of garlic. After heating the olive oil for about 3 minutes on a medium heat, I'm going to add in the diced onion and the chopped garlic. And start mixing the garlic and onion around with the olive oil. As you know, I always like to mix this continuously, that way the ingredients don't brown too quickly and they all evenly saute. After about 3 minutes and the onions are nice and translucent, I'm going to add in a generous half teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 1.5 grams, and half a teaspoon of ground cumin, which is 1 gram. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the spices are evenly coating the garlic and onion. Then I'm going to add in half a cup of tomato sauce, which is 115 grams. The tomato sauce I'm using, as always, I made by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here or even passata. And we'll give it a quick mix and simmer the tomato sauce for a couple minutes. After about 3 minutes and that tomato sauce has really thickened up, I'm going to add in 2 cups of fresh spinach that I roughly chopped, which is 200 grams. And we'll mix it together and cook the spinach until it's lightly wilted. Now the spinach that I'm using is fresh bagged spinach. I love this stuff because it's pre-cleaned and very affordable. However, to make this recipe, you can also use frozen spinach. Just make sure you fully thaw it out and then pat it completely dry. Once the spinach is lightly wilted, I'm going to add in 1 cup of cooked chickpeas, which is 170 grams. Now the chickpeas that I'm using come from a jar, which is the same thing as the canned ones. Very important to add them into a sieve and then rinse them under some cold running water. That way when you add them into the pan, they can absorb all the flavors in the pan. And we'll season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a gentle mix, that way all the ingredients are evenly mixed together. Once everything is well mixed, I'm going to add in 1 cup of vegetable broth, which is 237 milliliters. The vegetable broth that I'm using is homemade. You'll find the recipe on how to make it in the iCard above and description box below. And we'll turn up the fire from a medium heat to a high heat. While the broth is heating up, let's get our couscous ready. For this recipe, I'm just using your standard medium grain couscous. I'm going to measure out 1 cup, which is 150 grams. Once the broth comes to a boil, I'm going to add in the 1 cup of couscous. We'll give it a quick mix, that way the couscous is evenly distributed. Place a lid on the pan and turn off the heat. And we're going to let this sit here for exactly 5 minutes with the lid on to end up with perfectly cooked couscous. After exactly 5 minutes, I'm going to remove the lid from the pan. And using a fork, I'm going to fluff up the couscous, which is going to help those pebbles of couscous not be stuck to each other and give you beautiful fluffy couscous. Then I'm going to transfer some of the couscous into a serving dish. And we'll sprinkle it with some finely chopped parsley. Our couscous with Spanish spinach and chickpeas is done. You saw this, very easy to make and truly a dish that's gonna fill your body with so much goodness. Let's give it a try and see how it tastes. Seriously, this is a dish I cannot wait to try because the aromas are mind-blowing good. Here we go. It is absolutely delicious. The couscous is beautifully cooked, the chickpeas add an incredible texture, and as for the flavors, you have that spinach with the tomato sauce and the spices. Truly an explosion of so much Spanish goodness. You saw this, very easy to make. It's all done using just one pan for a very easy cleanup and comes together in under 30 minutes. Try this couscous dish for your next meal. You will not believe how good it is. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my newest patrons, Paul Whitfield, Wesley Evan Smith, Debbie Lee, Martin, and Maria. Again, guys, thank you so much for becoming patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one as it really helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, you know what to do, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.